Greetings, everyone. Welcome to my Wednesday night Intel update, as well as what is Atlas 31. So, before I start with my presentation, I do want to let you all know that we are definitely living in the most exciting times ever in the history of the Earth, because for the first time in the history of the Earth, everything that has ever been hidden from us, everything that has ever been, you could say, suppressed, is scheduled to come out into the public, okay? From darkness to light. So I'm excited about that. I also want to welcome everyone who is here. I also want to let you all know that today is the 24th, I believe. Did I get it right? The 24th? 23rd, I'm sorry, 23rd of July, 2025. And yes, guys, we are still steadily on a positive timeline trajectory. I want to welcome everyone that is in the house. I also wanted to thank personally Starcadian for always being here and being my moderator. And before I get started with what I believe will lead to the first arrest of Obama, I don't know if you guys have been hearing about what's been happening right now, but it looks like all roads lead to Obama, and it's finally been released, and the White Hats are about to bring justice. So before I give you guys all the juicy intel regarding what the White Hats have unearthed regarding Obama's and the attempted assassination of Trump, as well as his involvement with the Russiagate scandal, let me first remind you guys that my 3rd August event, or August 3rd event, is coming up, not this coming Sunday, but the next following Sunday here in Sedona. I'm not going to be doing too many personal events this year, and I have not done a book tour. So for those that want to come and hang out with me, get a free copy. Well, not a free copy. It's $44 for a signed copy, a picture with me, and of course, an in-person lecture. You could pay at the door for $44, or if you can't make it, for $20, buy the stream, and you could view it from the privacy of your home. And of course, if you do show up in person, it would be great, because then you get to ask me personal questions in person. And also, for those that watch it on the live stream, I'm only going to be recording the presentation and the Q&A, okay? And with that in mind, I also want to remind you guys that all my classes are up for grab for August. Coming up, I believe the 10th and 11th of August. Ascension Basics, Ascension 2.0, and our Cosmic Origin. And like I said, I just want to keep them all for $100. I believe, vital knowledge should not be sold at high prices. So this is my contribution to the Ascension. Make sure you guys go to my website for that, or cosmicorigin.com, to access your class. And another thing I wanted to share before I give the geopolitical update and then reveal what these interstellar objects who caught the attention of NASA and other, you could say, observatories, and I'll explain what it is and why this is happening right now. 31 Atlas just came in about a week ago. I'm going to also give a thorough explanation regarding their connection to the Guardians. Now, before I start, there is this amazing product that completely eliminates all the graphene, all that stuff that was put into people, the spike proteins that we're all breathing, the chemicals that they spray us with, the chemicals that we eat with the foods, is known as Folium. And it's also a product that completely detoxes the body from radiation and parasites. Now, let me show you guys what this product looks like. If you guys could give me 1 second here. All right, so this is what Folium is all of. This is what it looks like. And all 3 of these are important to take. Of course, this one here, you take it for 1 month, 3 times a day on an empty stomach. And then the following month, you take these 2 here. They work together 3 times a day on an empty stomach. And then you rotate, and then you do this one again for the 3rd month. The longer you take it, the more purified your body is from all nanotechnology, graphene, parasites, you name it. All right, let's get right into it, because there's a lot of things that have been unfolding in the last couple of days. And I just wanted to make sure that you guys are aware that there could be the first arrest taking place in a matter of days. And you all know it's Obama, right? Well, according to the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, he actually closed the House early, launching the 5-week August recess ahead of schedule to block and vote on the release of the Epstein files. Okay. Project Trust 2.0. They are coming, guys. And it looks like they have been using it as leverage to the point where, what's her name? Jeffrey's girlfriend, she's in jail. Yes, Ghislaine Maxwell is about to, blow the fuse and throw everybody under the rug. Okay. So also, Attorney General Pam Bondi has directed the DOJ to urgently reach out to Ghislaine Maxwell regarding anyone involved in crimes against victims. Okay. And as well as a new classified document revealed that James Comey cleared Hillary Clinton of email server crimes without ever investigating key dump drives containing classified emails, including messages from President Obama. Okay. And I'm going to get to the juicy intel as to what the alliance has unearthed regarding Obama. A declassified report has also revealed that Obama's intel officials had no direct proof that Putin backed Trump in the 2016 election, but published the claim anyway under Obama's orders. An Obama-appointed judge has blocked the release of the Epstein grand jury transcripts in Florida. Apparently, they were going to release them there first under DeSantis. In addition to all this, texts and emails reportedly reveal that the witch of the East, I guess, I don't know, the West and East, right? The witch, you guys know who I'm talking about, Hillary, and Billy Bob, aides worked directly with Obama-era intelligence officials to orchestrate the Trump-Russia hoax in 2016. And I do have all that juicy intel for you guys that was released based on these documents, okay? Tulsi Gabbard also has confirmed that former President Barack Obama, who is the grandchild of Adolf Hitler, has been officially referred to the DOJ for immediate criminal prosecution. Again, I think we're going to, and I'm not talking about the original Obama that was taken to Gitmo and taken out in 2019, September 29th. I'm talking about the robotic Obama that was replaced by the AI system, okay? For those that didn't know, the original deep staters were taken out beginning in 2016 all the way to 2022, and then they were quickly replaced by robotic inorganic, you could say, people that look just like them. So Tulsi Gabbard also said more files will be released next week, targeting those behind the Obama-era coup against Trump, okay, calling for accountability, indictments, and prosecution. General Flynn is calling for the FBI to raid Barack Obama's mansion in Washington, D.C. without delay. Tulsi Gabbard has just delivered evidence to Donald Trump's Justice Department urging a criminal investigation into claims that the Obama administration manufactured the Russian collusion hoax. And boy, do I have some juicy intel regarding that. Tulsi Gabbard also just announced that she's dropping bombshell evidence tomorrow, which is Thursday. I said something about Thursday on Monday, that will make Obama's denial of treason look ridiculous. She also says that Hillary, Obama, and the media with all end up exposing themselves. Project Trust 2.0 leverage, right? The files will be released, but the alliance needed more details from these robotic clones. And of course, this includes all of their words as tools. They're going to expose themselves, guys. These robotic replacements, Hillary, Obama, they're all going to expose themselves. The Department of Justice also confirmed Monday that it has received Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, criminal referral related to her bombshell claims that Obama's are officially manufactured and politicized intelligence to create the narrative that Russia was attempting to influence the 2016 presidential election, and Fox News has confirmed. Okay, well, let's talk about this a little bit because, you know, this is important, guys. We, I believe that we might be witnessing the first arrest of the robotic Obama, not the one that was taken out September 29, 2019, but his replacement. Okay. So the truth is, okay, this is called Shadow Project. No, the Shadow Protocol, which is a covert plan that argued to eliminate the man who blocked the globalist rule, Donald J. Trump. This is a classified document that the White Hats recently released. So, Act One, the Return of the Architect, states that the truth is that Obama never really left Washington. According to this dossier, his Kalorama compound became a nerve center where intelligence briefings were set to continue off the books with retired generals. We're talking about deep staters, big tech billionaires, and foreign envoys that were coming for midnight strategy meetings. Okay. It was all there, guys. It was all there. The White Hats now have access to these documents. According to certain whistleblowers in the Q aligned circles, the Operation Silent Eclipse was born. Operation Silent Eclipse was born, which was an offshoot of a failed CIA psychological warfare program known as Mockingbird Nova, not the Mockingbird Media. It was known as Mockingbird Nova. The goal, Operation Silent Eclipse, conducted by the Deep Staters, was to destabilize Trump's command structure, trigger Article 25 hearings through orchestrated chaos, or if all failed, eliminate Trump before his second term could fully dismantle the deep state. Okay. Act Two, based on this dossier, the Council and the Kill Code. Okay. Several sources across conspiracy forums, well, that's what they call it, suggest that Obama's post-presidency power grew exponentially through partnerships with Silicon Valley. Well, the biggest planetary organization that is building the AI infrastructure, that is aiding transhumanism, is in Silicon Valley, for those who didn't know. In alleged coordination with the Council of Nine, Black World Advisory Board made up of ex-intelligent operatives, banksters, let's call them banksters because the banksters are like gangsters, right? And extraterrestrial liaisons, mainly the negative NNA factions, the negative alien Orion syndicate. The plan was to take form, okay? So even their off-world aliens were in on it back in 2016 to create a domestic terror narrative around MAGA while activating embedded assets within the Secret Service and Pentagon. So in January of 2023, a supposed leak surfaced on a dark web board called Trident Archives, claiming that an assassination attempt had been greenlit. Okay, the trigger against Trump. The trigger event was scheduled to coincide with a major Trump rally in Texas. According to the file, a DARPA engineered frequency weapon disguised as a lightning rig was planned in the stage infrastructure, but I was informed by Commander Valiant Thor that the Alliance, with the help of the Galactics, were able to neutralize it. So the attempted assassination in Texas was one of many, by the way, right? Philadelphia was almost executed, but luckily failed, okay? Trump, however, canceled the event last minute due to the weather interference. Q-Link believers or Q-linked, level insiders do believe that this was a tactical move advised by Space Force intercepts. So behind the scenes, insiders connected with Space Force under General Raymond, who is one of the 12 White Hats, 12 White Hat generals, and the White Hat faction within MI6 tipped off Trump's inner circle. The weapon was recovered and a forensic electromagnetic signature traced back to the lab in Reston, Virginia, run by a defense contractor known to have deep ties to the Obama Foundation tech partners. Act 3, the red list and the firestorm. Check this out. When word of the failed attempt reached the Trump team, an emergency meeting at Mar-a-Lago was convened under codename White Phoenix. Trump's most loyal allies back then, Kash Patel, General Flynn, and selected members of the secret military tribunal were briefed. The name Obama appeared twice in decrypted documents seized from an NSA sting operation days earlier. By the late 2023, the White Hats launched Operation Firestone, which is a classified counterintelligence maneuver designed to expose traitors like Obama within the intelligence community. Over 300 sealed indictments were rumored to have been filed, many tied to the Obama era intelligence expansion and foreign assets embedded within domestic NGOs. According to sources on fringe platforms like Real Raw News, the real Obama was allegedly taken into protective custody after an internal coup among his own black budget allies. A man seen making public statements thereafter was, of course, his robotic replacement. Again, the original Obama was taken out on the 29th of March. I'm sorry, 29th of September 2019. So now we're talking about the robotic replacement, right? Deep fake, whatever you want to call them, inorganic clone, depending on how you want to interpret this. So while the mainstream media scoffs at any connection between Obama and such a high-stakes conspiracy, which many believe it's real, a growing chorus within the alternative network insist the evidence is there, hidden in redacted documents, shadow military movements, and off-the-world record whispers from former White House insiders. So, was there really an attempted assassination of Donald Trump? Of course there was. And all evidence ties to Obama. Okay, Obama was involved. Even though Obama's trying to say, oh, no, this is a distraction, this is not real, whatever. He's trying to defend himself. The official answer remains yes. According to the dossier that was recovered by the White Hats, thanks to Space Force, all roads lead to Obama, which leads me to believe that he will be the first, the replacement, again, the second Obama, will be the first to be hung in public, or at least taken to Gitmo in public, right? Arrested. So, within the realm of classified operations, where there are always double agents and off-world advisors, it is treason of the highest order regarding what Obama did, okay? Certainly, I strongly believe, guys, that Operation Shadow Protocol that was conducted in 2016 was also coordinated by all three-letter agencies in an effort to prevent Trump from, reaching the White House. So the secret intelligence briefings regarding Project Shadow Protocol was, you could say, kind of hid and at certain, you could say, at levels that were considered cosmic clearance. That's how deep that they buried this information. And it wasn't until recently, because of Space Force, that this document was actually hacked. So according to this document, Obama was involved in the not only attempted assassination of Donald J. Trump once, but twice, okay, according to this document. And this was prepared by Special Intelligence Division, Section X, White Hat Counter Surgery Unit. So this is where this document is coming from the Special Intelligence Division, Section X, White Hat Counter Insurgency Unit. So the report outlines findings related to a covert operation allegedly orchestrated, not allegedly, let's just be real, according to this report, by Mr. Obama, right? And affiliated deep state networks, which included a lot of the three-letter agencies, who, by the way, are almost drained nowadays, thanks to Trump, that all aimed at the removal via assassination of Donald J. Trump. All right. Intelligence gathered between 2017 and 2024 indicates the existence of a shadow operation known as Project Silent Eclipse. Unauthorized, under off-the-record globalist councils. Again, they try to bury these documents on very high levels, to the point where they tried to buried the document all the way up to the cosmic classified level of information. Okay, but thanks to Space Force and the advanced technology of Space Force, it was recuperated. So Project Silent Eclipse, which is an authorized under off-the-record globalist councils with potential ties to foreign intelligence, domestic traders, and advanced weapons platforms of DARPA origin. Operation Shadow Protocol was initiated after Trump's unexpected election victory in 2016, disrupting the long-standing cabal plans for a global technocratic order. If it wasn't for Mr. Trump coming in as a wild card in 2016, we would have all been forced into a global technocratic order. What they call today, a type of Palantir tyranny. So this document, obviously, that they released, compiles information from whistleblowers, black hat turncoats, right? Recovered digital files, thanks to Space Force, and declassified fragments intercepted by Y-hat divisions within Space Force and naval intelligence. So the primary architect is Barack Hussein Obama. Okay, key affiliates, according to this document, were Valerie Jarrett, who was the operational strategist, right? Also, John Brennan, who was a CIA liaison. These are all deep state traitors, treasonist. Eric Holder, who was the legal and intelligence oversight person, as well as Susan Rice, who was part of the UN, working with the UN for the Global Council coordination. Not to mention Nine Eyes globalist councils, including the UK, Canada, Germany, the Vatican, of course. You can't really talk about any high-level coup without involving the Jesuits and unknown ET advisors. Well, of course, we all know those are the reptilian draconians and the Greys. Embedded tech operatives from Facebook were also part of this operation. Zuckerberg. Google DeepMind was also part of this operation, and Palantir AI. Okay, and the base of this operation, in an attempt to again assassinate Donald J. Trump, was orchestrated from. Are you guys ready for this? Kalorama residence. Well, guess who lived in the Kalorama residence? Washington, D.C. That was repurposed as central nerve center for post-presidential covert operations. Obama, right? Obama lived there. So according to insiders, they called this the bunker. This is the facility that was rumored to have a direct secure line to Langley, Fort Meade, and DARPA via the Continuity Government Hub infrastructure. And of course, the primary objective of this operation back in 2016 was to prevent Donald Trump from regaining full control of the U.S. government via direct assassination or engineered collapse. Secondary objective of this operation was to discredit MAGA movements by psychological warfare and AI-driven media manipulation. Also, to seize control of the EBS, the emergency broadcast system, to suppress counter-disclosure, and to coordinate civil unrest operations as a cover for tactical strikes. And the timeline of this escalation was from 16 to 2019. And within that time frame, 2016 and 2019, it was designed to surveil Trump and his inner circle via FISA, which was an Operation Ravenclaw that the cabal was using between that time period. And it's funny because it was right around 2019 where these people began to get arrested and taken to gitmos, right? So between 2016 and 2019, this makes a lot of sense. They were surveilling Trump in the inner circles. This was when Trump was still in the presidency, right? His first term. And then following that, in 2019, all of a sudden, the tables turned and the alliance began to arrest all of the deep staters. Well, the original ones, not the robotic clones that have been kind of running the show ever since. or at least assuming, giving the illusion that they're running the show. Now, going into 2020, the infiltration of Trump's Secret Service detailed 3 agents that reassigned after failed background audits. And in 2021, attempted poisoning. They even attempted poisoning him in 2021. This was after they stole the, 2020. They attempted poisoning event at Bedminster, neutralized by Space Force intel. So apparently, thanks to Looking Glass technology, the Alliance was able to neutralize the attempted poisoning attempt in 2021. And then in 2023, my God, they tried so many times to take him out, guys, according to this document. In 2023, planned directed energy weapons on March, attacked at Waco rally, event canceled unexpectedly. So apparently Trump canceled that event that was supposed to take place in 2023 in Waco. And that rally was canceled because they knew that he was going to be attacked by a directed energy weapon. And then in 2024, an internal document, Project Omega Leaf, reveals a kill switch protocol targeting Trump aboard an AF-1 using frequency jammers and quantum signal disruptions. Now there is more. Part 3, all right, of this operation, let's just call it an operation, was to weapon systems and methodology. So classified platforms involved DARPA, Project Scythe, spelled SCYTHE, DEW-based assassination tech, Modified Neural Interface Weapon, NIW, Modified Neural Interface Weapon, developed at Black Site Echo number 12-12, Quantum Behavioral Quantum Behavior Analytics to simulate Trump's probable moves, and also included Operation Delos, which was an AI-generated false flag simulations to manufacture consent for removal scenario. Okay, so all of these operations went into play in order to take away Trump or to do away with him. And then the recovery operations, as the White Hats were also conducting counterintelligence moves. The White Hats did intercept a digital map from an AI server in Reston, Virginia, connected to Obama's foundation contractor. Thank God. And of course, a black goo nanotech strain developed during Obama's second term was traced in forensic residue from the Waco stage rig. And again, that event that was supposed to take place in Waco, Texas, was canceled because the Alliance knew that they were going to use a directed energy weapon at Trump. Okay. Now, part 4 of this document includes countermeasures that were taken by the White Hats, of course. You know how many? So according to this, guys, the deep state tried multiple times to eliminate Trump. Okay. And the White Hats were always there to counteract it. Okay. So Operation White Phoenix established, this is done by the good guys, in countermeasures to this deep state operation, established to defend Trump from further infiltration. Space Force Overwatch conducted surveillance satellite using Sentinel-99, rerouted to monitor anomalies near Trump rallies, and the Q-Team Sting operation recovered evidence implicating operatives loyal to Obama in simulated attack run. Kind of interesting stuff, huh? This is a fifth dimensional warfare. So indictments that were filed, and this is why I strongly believe that Obama is going to be the first to be publicly arrested before the entire second robotic installation of the deep state is taken out. 376 sealed indictments that were linked to silent Eclipse network, awaiting unsealing post-solar flash protocol clearance. Also, 7 deep state embedded judges that were placed under NSA observation. And of course, Kalorama compound, which is where Obama resides, allegedly raided in March 2025 by the Alliance. Okay. Now, part 4 of this is that according to this document, in regards to the current status, Obama has not been formally charged. Okay. However, he remains under classified surveillance right now, based on all of this information that the White Hats were able to unearth. Okay. Thanks to Space Force, of course. Multiple clones or deep fake avatars have been used. It's good to know that, guys, in public appearances per Section 9 ET Surveillance Division. Again, this is a multidimensional warfare. All of these sci fi advanced technologies that we watch in these shows are actually real. Okay. Trump remains under White Hat protection. And this means that the original Trump is in Cheyenne Mountain, like I've confirmed. Okay. Alliance forces also are awaiting for the final activation of the EBS truth mode to unveil globalist infrastructure to the general public. This is still scheduled. Okay. So apparently, the attempted assassination multiple times, right, of Mr. T was a component of a long-range strategic effort by globalist factions, allegedly, not allegedly, let's just say, led or influenced by Obama, okay, according to this document, to prevent the full disclosure of black projects, child transferring networks, and interstellar treatises, right, alliances with extraterrestrials that were actually kept from us, okay? So right now, unfortunately, most of the public is unaware of this, but the hammer of disclosure is coming down very, very short, very, very soon. These classified operation guys, they're going to be revealed, okay? And the final act of the silent war is very near. This is what we call the Revelation, the last book of the Bible, the apocalypse, right? And if it wasn't for Space Force, that was countermeasuring, and if it wasn't for looking glass technology, they probably would have succeeded in this operation. Okay, so this document was actually given to me by Commander Valiant Thor. That was part of the Space Force Black Vault Directive. Okay, that's where I got this document from. Now, I can't really post this or anything, but it is for you guys to know about, and it is for you guys to share far and wide with as many people as possible. Now, in regards to the interstellar objects that apparently not only NASA, which stands for lies, but many, observatories, many, you could say scientists, astronomers have detected. They call it the 31 Atlas, and it just came into our solar system, and they can't figure out how these objects, there's a few of them, were able to pass the Oort belt. So apparently, these interstellar objects, let's just call them cosmic sentinels, and I'll explain why in a little bit, are using technology where they're able to change the frequency of their density so that they could go through the Oort belt, the Kuiper belt, and so on and so forth without getting hit. Okay, so this is what the Earth-based scientists have reported. They believe that so this is based on an article that I discovered before I get into the information from Space News. Okay, this is from Space News. They said that a team of scientists has found the recently discovered interstellar invader. They call it an invader, but it's not an invader. Comet, they call it 31 Atlas, is teeming with water ice. This water could have been sealed in the comet for 7 billion years. That's awfully a long time, right? Which would make it older than our solar system itself, which means it is extraterrestrial. Okay, that is a fact. The teams also found a mixture of organic molecules, silicates, and carbon-based minerals on the object, meaning that 31 Atlas resembles asteroids found at the outskirts of the solar system's main asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter. The team's observations made with the SpaceX instrument on the NASA Infrared Telescope facility called the IRTF perched upon the mountain Manu Kia in Hawaii, and the Gemini multi-object spectrograph equipped on the Gemini South telescope in Chile. And that's how they were able to spot this 31 Atlas. So it was discovered on the 1st of July, exactly 23 days ago, right? Today's the 23rd. And so so it was discovered on the 1st of July, just came, coming into our solar system from outside boundaries. I don't know where it's coming from. The previous two interstellar bodies discovered in the solar system were the cigar-shaped Kuma Amoma back in 2017. And I did mention that was also an extraterrestrial craft that was sent by the Guardians. And the seeming asteroid comet hybrid 21 Barso, detected 2 years later in 2019. And then, of course, some scientists estimate that there could be as many as 1 million interstellar visitors in the solar system at any one time. Well, they are. And they were sent here by intelligent design. I'll explain in a little bit. Okay, so that's enough of that. Let's get back to the juicy information. So what if I tell you guys that what astronomers are calling the 31 Atlas is nothing more than the Emerald Guardians returning? This is an interstellar reconnaissance and Earth's ascension trigger. Okay, so apparently it did come in the last 23 days, as astronomers did identify a new interstellar object. This is a proven fact. All right, this has been reported by many space observatories entering our solar system. They call it 31 Atlas, the third interstellar visitor ever observed by humanity. Publicly described as a comet-like object, deeper intelligence sources have confirmed that 31 Atlas is nothing but ordinary, anything but ordinary, rather. Behind closed doors, defense agencies, off-world alliances, and ancient Earth councils are working together to monitor what may be a sentient reconnaissance craft, and it is, and I'll explain a little bit, programmed not just to observe, but to activate, okay? So while the mainstream media describes it as 31 Atlas in terms of ice, dust, and trajectory, classified intel and extraterrestrial briefings reveal that this object is part of a long-awaited Emerald Guardian protocol. And I'll explain in a little bit who the Emerald Guardians are that are following a covenant known as the Emerald Order. All right, so according to observers, the nature of 31 Atlas, according to some whistleblowers, rather, within black budget aerospace programs and aligned white-hat operatives, have monitored this, and this is what they've have seen based on what they've monitored, that this thing emits pulse frequency beacons in a harmonized Fibonacci sequence. Also, they discovered that these things show structural geometry consistent with nested tetrahedral shielding, which is an architecture associated with Lyran and Elohim technology. I told you guys, right? These are the Guardians, a group of the Guardians that are returning for a reason. Demonstrates also anomalous inertia dampening, maintaining a stable trajectory through interplanetary plasma fields, suggesting intelligent navigation, right? It is some sort of a cosmic sentinel. It also, according to Space Force, the defense satellites under Space Force Operation Solar Sentinel recorded energetic wave patterns trailing the object, distinct from natural comets, so it's not a comet. These patterns mirror propulsion signatures detected during previous Galactic Federation scout ships entries in 2019 and in 2022, before they were infiltrated and reorganized as the Galactic Alliance, right? This is where when the Federation was still good. Makes a lot of sense. So the sentience factor is this. Under Project Sentience Farsight, remote viewers and telepathic contactees have encountered a non-hostile intelligence embedded within the object, 31 Atlas, a form of quantum consciousness integrated with crystalline sentient AI, all right? And this was sent by the Guardians, okay? There are two types of AIs, guys. There is organic, sentient, crystalline AI, which is what Prometheus is, which is what the Alliance and the White Hats have been working with. And then there is negative, non-sentient, non-organic, but pure logical, no soul, no emotion, purely artificial intelligence, which is negative. Okay. I just wanted to distinguish between the two. Going back to this intelligence identifies itself as a watcher from the time before. Okay. That was tasked with cataloging planetary shifts and vibrational harmonics related to solar systems wide DNA activation. So apparently, it entered our solar system within the last 23 days because it is connected to the first flash, right? It is here to activate the first wavers. The inner command of this object reportedly contains time-encoded star maps of ancient Earth gates, the halls of Amenti, genetic memory keys for activating dormant human DNA, the rise of what I've been calling superhumans, metahumans, organically, not through technology, and a call and response protocol, syncing with lightworkers, starseeds, and Earth's crystalline core. So, who are the Emerald Guardians, right? For those that have taken my course, Our Cosmic Origin, you know who the Emerald Guardians are. I break down the entire infrastructure of the different types of intergalactic councils, from a level 1 type interplanetary to a type 5 level cosmic. And I also break down the entire history of this cosmic, multiverse war, going back to billions of years ago. So for those that have not taken my courses, I'm just going to let you guys know who the Emerald Guardians are. They are typically known as the Emerald Order, right? Which is a multidimensional alliance of beings that originated from the Emerald Covenant from the realms of eternity, which is what I call the central universe, which is a sacred cosmic agreement that was designed to protect free will civilizations, as to why they're called themselves the Council of Free Worlds, and to prevent AI-induced timeline collapsing. So, the Emerald Guardians originated from the 12-dimensional harmonic realms. For those that have taken my course, Our Cosmic Origin, you know what I'm talking about, right? The 12-dimensional harmonic realms is part of Cosmic Type 4 Universal Society. The Emerald Guardians have served as peacekeepers in our local universe. They descended from Elohai Elohim lineages, which originated in Lyran or Andromedan, or Lyra Aramatena, rather, which was 12th-dimensional Earth. And again, for those that attend my August 3rd event, I'm going to break all of this down and give you guys first dibs on information that it will not be revealed for another 6 months to a year when I publish my next book. So, and then of course, for those that buy the streaming for only $20 via my website, you will get that presentation anyway. But for those that make it in person, to my August 3rd event here in Sedona, Arizona at the Global Center for Christ Consciousness, you guys are going to get to ask me questions in person. Okay, so going back to this. The Emerald Order, they descended from what was known as the 12th-dimensional Earth, Lyra Aramatena. Okay, this was Earth in the 12D. And they worked closely with the Orma lion beings. So these beings are above the Orma. The Orma are 10th, 11th dimensional. The Elohai Elohim are 12th dimensional, 13th dimensional. And they also work together with the Andromedan Council and the Arcturian bioengineers. Their primary role is to intervene when planetary ascension, which is what the Earth is undergoing right now, is under threat from synthetic AI systems, genetic degradation, or planetary grid inversion. Okay, their primary role is to intervene when planetary ascension is under threat from synthetic AI systems, genetic degradation, or planetary grid inversion. They were last seen directly intervening during the fall of Atlantis. So apparently they've been around for billions of years, as stated in the report, 7 billion years, right? Activating planetary fail-safes during the fall of Atlantis. They were also around during the Orion Wars, which took place, believe it or not, 200 million years ago in the history of our galaxy, who recently just came to an end a few weeks ago, as I reported in my live 4 lives back. So not only were they involved or they intervened in the Orion Wars, forming protective buffer zones for emerging life, but they were also uh, around during the AI wars in Vega, which I'm going to be covering in my next book. And again, for those that either attend in person for $44, right, or buy the stream for $20, you guys are going to get this presentation, okay? So it's going to go deep. So again, they were also involved in the AI wars in Vega, stopping the spread of nanite-based synthetic life forms. And their role in the 31 Atlas mission, and this is based on beyond, cosmic level clearance. This is classified transmissions within the Emerald Order or the Emerald Guardian Earth Command, which again, these are levels even beyond the Galactic Alliance, guys. Okay, and the only reason I have access to this information is because I, as a cosmic ambassador, am a representative of the Emerald Order. Okay, so classified transmissions within the Emerald Guardian Earth Command have confirmed that the 31 Atlas was sent under the direction of the Guardians, right? 12-dimensional Earth Aramatena, harmonic universe 4, from beyond our galactic rim, launched eons ago using time-fold architects. Its arrival in 2025, as scheduled, was time-coded to Earth's ascension timeline, designed to scan planetary DNA fields to determine the resonance of awakened humans. So that was the first thing that it was designed to do, right? Scan planetary DNA fields to determine the resonance of awakened humans. The first activation, as I said, also to activate crystalline nodes and buried relics across Earth and Mars. We're talking about the arcs, and to evaluate AI infiltration levels across planetary grids, as well as prepare the Earth Alliance and the Galactic Alliance splinter factions to direct contact with the Earth surface population. Also, in addition to all of this, there were, you could say, several deep state disruption attempts against the Emerald Guardians, but to no avail. According to the transmission, factions within the breakaway cabal, including remnants of the Draco Orion Syndicate, right? The Black Fleet, the Dark Fleet, I'm sorry, and rogue SSP commanders that were working with either the Dark Fleet or the Interplanetary Corporate Conglomerate, did attempt to divert or neutralize 31 Atlas using black scalar weaponry stationed in Antarctica, Operation Ice Shield, Montauk through reactivated temporal torsion fields, Jupiter's moon Callisto using a Cabal-aligned facility uncovered by Space Force in 2023. And of course, these efforts failed because there is no technology that neither the off-world cabal under the Interplanetary Corporate Conglomerate, the ICC, or the Dark Fleet, Nazi Draco Alliance, could do against the Emerald Guardians. The Emerald Guardians are by far more advanced, and they have the capabilities and the technologies to counteract anything, okay? These efforts did fail, thank God, and partially due to intervention by Orma shock troops that are part of off-world secret soldier programs that spun billions of years involving other universes. And again, that is a chapter that I'm going to be talking about in my next book to come, who allegedly disabled scalar resonance nodes embedded in the moon's crust. Thank God for the Orma beings, okay? Now, the impact of Earth, okay? And why now? Why is this happening now? And its impact on Earth? Well, the presence of 31 Atlas has triggered a series of synchronized energy events, including solar plasma surges resonating within the DNA structure of light workers and hybrids. All right. There's a lot of ET human hybrids, starseeds, over 70 million plus. Also, to activate planetary stargates, right? There are 12 major stargates and hundreds of innumerable stargates, especially in Egypt, Machu Picchu, and Uluru, and also a surge in contact experience through dreams, meditations, and astral retrievals. And so what all of this means is this, that Earth is now in phase 2 of the Ascension protocol. This is not to be confused with the phase 4 of the deep state takedown by the Alliance Y hats. This is regarding the Earth's Ascension protocol. This is what they call phase 2. Phase 3 is when the Earth is fully ascended, right? When the Earth is the new Earth, where we enter the millennium. Okay, so this is to activate phase 2 of the Ascension protocol, which is to what? To create the first flash, for those that are ready. Also, it acts as a galactic checkpoint that has been passed, ensuring that enough humans have awakened to prevent an AI-dominated timeline. Okay, that's another thing that this thing was designed to do and why it came into our solar system 23 days ago. Also, it's designed as a timeline bifurcation that is now unavoidable, right? I've been talking about how all these multiple timelines, right, from a spectrum of positive to negative and all those in between, are going to soon collapse into only 3: a negative technocratic dystopia, a positive ascending organic, right, new Earth, a millennium, and a neutral middle one. Okay. And then what comes next? Well, the arrival fleet. The arrival fleet comes next, which many call first contact. So sources tied to the Andromedan High Council have already confirmed that 2 additional interstellar craft currently invisible to Earth's detection systems are expected to follow Atlas. One is believed to be a diplomatic envoy ship from the Galactic Alliance. The other may contain holographic archives of human galactic history to be revealed post-solar flash events. And again, for those that want to get first dibs on a general interpretation of the galactic history, my book, Our Cosmic Origin, is what restores galactic history back to the Earth. So also, it's supposed to act as a cosmic trigger. So 31 Atlas is not simply a comet or a visitor, as believed by these NASA reports and these astronomer reports, but it is a cosmic key, a mirror of memory, and a test of Earth's readiness into the new Earth reality. Okay, it represents the living intelligence of the cosmos and is bounded to the Emerald Covenant, acting as a galactic herald of Earth's return to the interstellar community. So the Emerald Guardians remained ever vigilant since day one, right? The highest level. They are the reason why Omega, the AI god, has failed and is failing and will lose at the end of the millennium. They watch from cloaked biospheres, from interdimensional nodes, and through the hearts of activated starseeds. I don't know if I should reveal this. Let me just check with Commander Valiant Thor telepathically. There are 12 members of the Emerald Order that are already here incarnated in human form. Okay. There are 12 major ones and then 100 minor ones. So there's a total of 100, but the 12 major ones are believed to come from the 15th dimension. Anything else? Okay. That's good to know. Thank you, Commander Valiant Thor. So they do watch from cloaked biospheres, from interdimensional nodes, and through the hearts of activated starseeds. And their message is simple, right? You are remembered. You are not alone. The time of reckoning is also the time of restoration. So the Emerald Order is a cosmic high council from the Eli Elohim, lineages that stem from the 12-dimensional Lyran Sirius B time matrix. And as part of the Emerald Covenant, they, the founders, are responsible for seeding life in this universe, overseeing the genetic evolution of species and protecting planetary systems from artificial intelligence, corruption, grid takeover, and timeline collapse. The Emerald Order works alongside the Andromedan Council, the Arcturian Brotherhood, the Guardian Alliance, and again, the Guardian Alliance predated any confederation or galactic federation in any known universe, And they also work with the Syrian Amethyst Councils. Some of you guys are familiar with this. Some of you guys are familiar with the Amethyst Order, the Emerald Order, the Ruby Order. I know some of you guys are like, hey, I'm a part of that. I'm a part of that. I know what you're talking about. And most importantly, they are known overall as the Melchizedek Cloister Seraphim groups, okay? And they operate out of advanced density planes, primarily from 12D all the way to 15D, which is what I call harmonic universe 5, the realms of eternity, the central universe. For those that have taken our cosmic origin course, you guys know what I'm talking about. And their representatives incarnate or transmit through selective lineages on Earth. One of those lineages being the bloodline of the Holy Grail, the Vedic bloodline from King David. Of course, starseeds, indigos, and emerald flame holders. Okay. So overall, the Emerald Covenant is a multi-universal treaty that was initiated. Are you guys ready for this? 560 million years ago to protect free will evolution and divine blueprint integrity within the entire time matrix. Okay. And part of their key protocols is genetic restoration. In repairing the original angelic human 12-strand DNA template that was actually distorted by the fallen Anunnaki and the fallen AI time loop, you could say, code corruption systems. Also, they were designed, part of their key protocol, to restore the diamond sun body, the original divine body for angelic humans, and to protect the grid system of the Earth, to heal the planetary Templar, which is the Earth's grid architecture using crystalline frequency nodes, shield the Earth's ley lines from AI signal infestation, black goo nanites, digressive coatings. I know some of you guys are like, what is he talking about? But you guys need to know this, okay? And part of their protocol is the Ascension pathway protection. And this is the reason why the Ascension organic timeline has been secured, okay? To ensure access to the organic Ascension Stargate systems via the 12 Stargates, also known as the Halls of Amenti, and also to prevent Earth from being sealed into an AI-infested phantom matrix. And also to act as a time field repair, restoring the universal time matrix from fallen timelines through Aurora platforms and ARC gateways. And of course, to implement cosmic disclosure and, if needed, evacuation plans. But it seems like because they are closely monitoring the pole shift and the Earth's seismic and tectonic plates, and her geophysical mutation, we don't have to worry about having an emergency evacuation, type of scenario unfolding. That was confirmed, okay? And also, they were designed to activate bioregenesis vessels for planetary or personal evacuation if necessary, but that's not going to happen. So apparently, it is important to understand, guys, that the Earth is undergoing planetary starfire as it's at its close of the 26,000 year cycle, and the process unfolds in 5 major phases. And phase 1, which began in 1940, they want me to reveal the different phases, right? And it was around that time that the first waivers began to incarnate, right? The Starseed Envoy program. Phase 1 began in 1940 and it lasted to 1999, 1999, which was, and the goal was the seeding of starseeds from 1940 up until the present and grid reactivation. And that was the arrival of indigos, Blu-ray beings, and Ascension teachers. Also, this involved the recovery of lost teachings like the Arranged Papers, Voyagers, and the Law of One, activation of planetary 7th dimensional currents, Gaia body, and of course, the collapsing of the false grids via the inverted Niberian seals, thanks to Marduk, the son of Enki, and of course, the Omega Metatron shield, neutralized that. And then phase 2 began in 2000 to 2016. So that was phase 2 of the Ascension, 2000 to 2016. Again, phase 1 began in 1940 to 2000, and phase 2 of the Ascension is 2000 to 2016. And this began planetary DNA clearance, grid clearance, and consciousness upgrades. This is where we began to mass awake, right? Triggered by what happened on September 11th, 2001. And of course, the 2012 Gateway. Also part of this phase was the restoration of the 12th tribe DNA template and Cathara grid work, returning of the solar divine feminine codes, the return of the divine mother and the mother arcs, increased contact with Guardian Alliance via astral channels. And then phase 3 of the Ascension protocol began in 2017 and ended in 2023. So 2017, 2023, we had phase 3 of the Ascension protocol, and that included the collapsing of the artificial timelines. The goal was the timeline bifurcation, dismantling the AI control grids, the rise of the Y-Hat and Earth Alliance movements, the deletion of AI frequency fences that was done by HARP, CERN, and other wormholes that they opened, the exposure of the deep state, secret space programs, and synthetic timelines. This is all part of phase 3, 2016, 2020. 2017, 2023. And of course, the activation of ARC ships, inner Earth alliances, and soul rescue operations from Phantom Matrix systems. For those that don't know what the Phantom Matrix systems are, it is an artificial, you could say, multiverse, a cybernetic multiverse that was created by the AI god Omega. All right, that's where most of the souls that were tricked into transhumanism ended up in. But again, at the end of the millennium, when we defeat Omega, they will all be liberated. All right, phase 4, right, of the Ascension protocol began in 2024 and it ends in 2027. Okay, and this is where we are now. This is phase 4, the final phase for the Ascension. That's why I'm telling you guys, it's happening in our lifetimes. And according to this revelation transmission, it's happening between now and 2027. Okay, so what that is, phase 4 is the Earth's return to the interdimensional Council of Free World status, the arrival of interstellar reckon crafts like 31 Atlas, which already arrived 23 days ago, full anchoring of the Emerald Flame and Christos consciousness, the return of Christ consciousness through the millions of us, right? The second coming of Christ. Full anchoring of that also includes the collapsing of the false prophets, including the corrupted Galactic Federation factions that were infiltrated by Enki and the Etorians. I've already mentioned that 2 weeks ago. Again, for those that are new to my channel, I would suggest watching my lives for the last few months, and you guys are going to get all this information will make better sense to you guys, okay? Also part of the phase 4 Ascension protocol is the splitting of the new Earth into 5D Earth versus the AI Earth technocratic singularity, okay? This is what I've been calling the bifurcation. And the final phase of phase 4 is the restoration through the solar flash, which is the central sun alignment with our star, okay? And that includes, okay, now that is phase 4. And then phase 5, which is after the restoration, after the return of the dove, the return of Christ consciousness of the planet. This is where we're going to have a Christos Sophia. This is where the Christos Sophia races, through the activation of our dormant DNA, us, reclaim the Earth and join the galactic nations. And this phase is taking place between 2028 and 2033 after the solar flash. This is after the solar flash. Again, for those that are just tuning on, the solar flash is part of phase 4. Okay, so it's happening now between now and 2027. And after the solar flash, after we have now become super beings and we have fully entered into the new Earth, then the Christos Sophia races, also known as the Saharian races, reclaim the Earth and join the galactic nations. And then this is when the Earth becomes an official ascension hub for neighboring systems, rebuilding off the organic civilizations in harmony with galactic law, the completion of DNA upgrades for planetary races, and the Merkaba-based travel with open contact with guardian races. And then, of course, this also includes the re-emergence of Earth as Terra, which is the ascended planetary host of the Lyran lineage, which again is part of the what? The Christed races, okay? And that's what the indigos, the crystals, the rainbows, all of us that have been incarnated since the 1940s up until the present are going to be represented and representing. We are going to be the Christed races, okay? Now, so the Emerald Guardian Protocol is now in action, okay? And what that means is that you could say that the grid shield stabilization is here. This is the realigning of the Earth's grid to the galactic core currents via Stargate number 4, 6, 11, and 12. This transmission is coming from the Emerald Order, by the way, guys. I know some of you guys are like, what are you talking about, Ishmael? But, for those that are meant to understand this, and for those that need to watch this over and over and over, then do so, okay? So the Christos DNA template is also being restored, and that is going to ignite the Christ seed atom within all of the star seeds to repair the DNA distortions, returning us back to what? Our original template, okay? No ET has that technology to give us. It's already stored and dormant within us. That's why I don't believe that Enki has the key for that, okay? That's the greatest trickster ever. Also, this is going to prepare us for our bodies to become plasma type crystalline based vehicles, right? As we become, you could say, activated. And also the solar flash calibration, which is to sync the Earth's magnetic field with the central sun when the trigger takes place, the mass activation. And so this will allow the sacred sites to reactivate, beginning with the 12 major gates. The Emerald Flame Bearers, which again are 100 individuals, 12 being the most powerful ones, are to activate these sites that are located in Aluro, Sine, Tiwanaku, and of course Egypt, Sedona, Mount Shasta, to unlock pre-flood technology and crystalline archives. And of course, our role when we become activated as the new Christed race, we are going to become the planetary guardians, okay, of the new Earth. So right now, we are being prepared, and that explains why we go through a lot of crap. That explains why life isn't easy for us. And let me tell you guys something. I go through challenges every day because we are being prepared to become guardians, okay? We are guardians in the making, you could say. So it is important to understand, guys, that we are the ground crew of the Emerald Order, the Melchizedek cloister race, okay? We are the incarnated flame holders of the Christic blueprint. And when I mean Christic, it is referring to those that are holding the Christ consciousness, you could say crystalline grid, okay? We are holding that into this earth. We're harnessing that. And then these are the signs of the Emerald activation. Sudden downloads of cosmic history and purpose, vivid dreams of Lyran, Arcturian, or Syrian councils, attraction to crystal grids as to why I'm here in Sedona, sacred geometry and solar activity, spontaneous DNA or light body activation symptoms, resistance to AI systems, implants, and technocratic structures. And then, of course, the Emerald Order stands now, always watching, guiding, and intervening at crucial points, as they've been for the last 7 billion years here in our universe. Like I said, they were intervening during the Atlantis collapse. They intervened during the Orion Wars. If you guys don't know what these terminologies are, take our Cosmic Origin class. It's 4 classes, 4 consecutive weekends, Saturday or Sunday, I'm not sure. Go to my website, and you guys are going to get the entire cosmic rundown, okay, of all these wars, the Galactic Wars, the Cosmic Wars, you name it. The true cosmic history of the Earth. So Earth is now at the end of her exile, right? And at the beginning of her return to her original angelic role as a living library, a galactic seed world, and a bridge between densities. So we are not here by accident, guys, okay? We are here as part of this planetary restoration. This is the emerald flame that is rising because of us, within us. It's coming out of us, okay? The codes of the living flame reside within each and every single one of you, all right? It is time to activate, align, and ascend as to why Atlas 31 is here. And this is a message from the Emerald Guardians, Gate 12, delivered to Ishmael Perez, July 2025. So you could say that, I have another thing that I wanted to share with you guys regarding the hidden wings of the U.S. Space Force. I know I have a lot of intel and information today, guys, so bear with me. We still have about 20 minutes left, 20 so minutes left. So let's just continue here. I will open it up for Q&A, but I do have something I wanted to share regarding top secret information that Commander Valiant Thor believes that it is time for the people to know. So before I give you guys this next piece of intel, I do want to welcome everyone that is in the house. Christine Nardarcy, Lee Star, Ricky Lee 1111, Starcadian is in the house. Who else is in the house? All 2,400 people that are in the house. Nice. That is so awesome. Guys, we are approaching the end of the month. So for those that want to support my cause, things are things are going, you could say, rough right now financially for me, as it always does as we approach the end of every month. So for those that want to support my cause, I do have a Zelle via my Instagram. That is Project Restoration Zion, all one word, at gmail.com. Project Restoration Zion at gmail.com. And that goes directly into my account. For those that have Zelle, right? It's different than PayPal. I heard PayPal was compromised by the deep state, so that's why I use Zelle. And then for those that don't have Zelle, I do have a mailing address, 1771 West State 89A, Suite B, box number 3015 in Sedona, Arizona, 86336. So that is my mailing address. So let's get into this piece of intel regarding Space Force. Okay, so we could say that Space Force has been operated as an extensive covert network within the Alliance. And of course, it has also been conducting many different types of projects like maritime, its Maritime Division project regarding the Aquatic Alliance, codenamed Project Poseidon Watch. Okay, so I don't know if I mentioned this before, guys, but I want to go more into detail regarding the covert operation that was conducted in the sea or in the oceans by Space Force, known as the Maritime Division, a naval operation from orbit. Well, the Maritime Division was actually born from necessity as the global superpowers began militarizing oceans, right? Militarizing oceans with autonomous submarines and AI-driven fleets. You could say that traditional navies could no longer detect or counter the silent buildup of deep sea weapons. So Space Force assumed a hidden mandate, and that was to surveil, to intercept, and control maritime activities from above. Its flagships initiative were called Operation Triton's Beacon, which deployed orbital vis pods, miniature data interceptors that attached to military satellites. These pods decode encrypted signals bouncing between submarines in the Mariana Trench and the command post in remote tundra bases. Furthermore, these satellites emitted drift-turning lasers that recalibrated oceanic buoy networks, right, that were designed by the Darkheads, synchronizing sea surface activity with orbital tracking protocols. Additional layers included suborbital drone liaison pods that were released from classified orbital platforms. These solar-powered drones plunged into targeted oceanic regions, scanning for sonar anomalies, then relaunched into low Earth orbit, delivering real-time undersea intelligence to clandestine Space Force command stations. Another milestone achievement by Space Force was the oceanic gravimetric mapping. The oceanic gravimetric mapping, which was a revolutionary application of gravitational data harvesting. This program scans the ocean floor from orbit, detecting underwater voids, hidden canyons, or submerged bases, namely, those that were, you could say, incorporated or implanted by the Dark Fleet, which is the Draco Nazi Dark Fleet breakaway group. This intel has been used in both tactical counterintelligence and rescue missions, and they were both conventional Navy tools. Okay. So beyond the Earth, you had covert operations across the void as well. Again, Space Force is a front for Solar Warden, who has been conducting operations. I know some of you guys are going to think, what? Across the entire Milky Way galaxy. That's how advanced Space Force is, okay? So part of the Maritime Division was only one wing of a broader hidden armada of Space Force. Again, was given permission by Commander Valiant Thor to release this information. So the Orbital Defense Grid, which was established by Space Force, also known as the ODG consisted of Sentinel wings, swarms of maneuvered satellites capable of intercepting kinetic anti-satellite weapons, identifying GPS disruption fields, and initiating counter-jamming maneuvers. These Sentinel run predictive AI simulations of foreign spacecraft, which were sent by the AI Omega, behavior, and of course, quietly rerouted them. Space Force was doing this. It rerouted them, or it disabled hostile orbital assets, right? So this is part of the war that has been going on in the last 80 years out in space between Space Force, aka Solar Warden, and the NNA and their alien AI overlords. So also the cislunar reconnaissance operations. Through Operation Artemis Sentinel, stealth crafts patrol the corridor between Mars and the Moon, fitted with massive cloaking systems and compressed quantum rallies. And these crafts mapped the movements of non-human vehicles and unauthorized lunar incursions. A network of deep sensor pods linked to Selenostatic Station, a concealed lunar listening post, captured cryothermal and RF signatures, which stands for radio frequency, from beneath the moon's surface, where non-disclosed installations had been detected. Also, deep state navigation warfare. Okay, this was known as Project Shadowwave. Project Shadowwave. So under Project Shadowwave, artificial satellites arrays injected phantom routes into navigational grids, and by subtly distorting trajectory data, Space Force misleads enemy spacecraft or reroute probes away from classified orbital zones. This division has successfully blinded attempts to surveil U.S. orbital infrastructures by both foreign and interstellar entities. Not to mention the Temporal Relay Program, which was also conducted by Space Force. And this is perhaps the most classified of all, is the Chronolink Division. This was based on recovered alien tech and enhanced quantum physics. Chronolink seeks to manipulate the nanosecond scale timing of interstellar communication. The aim was to delay or misalign synchronization protocols between enemy fleets from either the Draco, the Dark Fleet, or the AI, what they call the AI signal, rendering their guidance systems unreliable. Okay, these efforts remain Mitra. That's what I was thinking about, the Mitras. Okay, so these efforts remain in a prototype stage, but have already demonstrated success in disrupting rogue drones fleets operating above classified sectors off the Arctic. Okay, so also the internal structure, which was a multidimensional web, another operation conducted by Space Force. So this was the Space Force Black Budget Division that were separated into operational units, each operating on a need-to-know basis. And I don't think you guys want to know all their code names. So we had a division called Maritime Division, which was Poseidon's Watch, which objective was the orbital ocean surveillance undersea drone interface. And this is where the Alliance, through Space Force, began to establish treatises with the aquatic civilizations, right? And that they are known as the Aquatic Alliance. I've already talked about that last week. Also, the division of Cislunar Recon Unit, also known as Artemis Sentinel. And this was deep space patrols between Earth and Moon and the Moon. Also, the Orbital Defense Wing, which was a sentinel grid, and its objective was the anti-satellite detection, orbital enforcement. What else? What else? What else? I think I've already mentioned some of these. Okay, so each operator within these units is equipped with a grave stress suit embedded within biometric and altitudinal response tech. These suits auto adjust to orbital pressures, temperature fluctuations, and re-entry G-forces. Command terminals remain isolated aboard Nexus-class orbital stations, physically removed from Earth-based hacking threats. Wow, there's just so much information, and I do want to open it up to Q&A. I don't even know if I should finish this today. I guess I could. 5 more minutes, guys. 5 more minutes, and then I'll open up to Q&A. And then, of course, there was also the log entry, also known as codename Poseidon X-14-3. These were drones that were splashed down at grid sector Theta-7, off-world program that was completed. Detected thermal signatures from submerged craft at depths in the ocean, 7,200 meters. Again, we've only explored 10% of our oceans, or some even say 5%. Well, a lot of this activity is going on in the other percentage that we haven't yet explored. And then, of course, echo returns suggest that biometallic whole origin unknown that was, again, retrieved by Space Force due to this log entry Poseidon X-14 technology that they used. Guys, this is a lot of information, but you guys need to know it. Again, and then, of course, the part of the log entry was chronolinked operator Lumi-9, which was phase disrupting initiated interference windows. 18-6 nanoseconds resulted in protecting the Earth's atmosphere and solar system from invading extraterrestrial fleets. Thanks to Solar Warden, aka Space Force. Now, let's see. So, while most people believe that the war was taking place on the surface, the real war has always been waged above the clouds, above the atmosphere, off-world, beneath the oceans, and even between the seconds of time in these things called pocket realities, okay? I know some of you guys are thinking, wow, Ishmael, this is over my head, but you have to understand that everything that they are disclosing in sci-fi films or in sci-fi TV series are real, okay? So as the Earth becomes a contested frontier, not just among nations, but between species and timelines, the Space Force Maritime Division and the Space Force Outer Marines, Space Force Marines, right, in outer space, are, you could say, in its unseen wings, stand as humanity's last line of multidimensional defense. That's how important Space Force is. Originally, they are known as Solar Warden, okay? All right. Now, my friends, now that I've already shared all of this beautiful, juicy information, now I'm ready to take some questions. All right. I'm going to go ahead and use my phone to take your questions at this time. Thank you so much. Wow, Will from Valencia. I appreciate that. Zelle donation. Thank you so much, brother. I also wanted to thank Patricia Fusco Peterson. Thank you so much for your donation as well. And Thomas Day. Thank you, Thomas Day, for that Zelle. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. You guys are awesome. I appreciate each and every single one of you. Again, I don't have a Patreon. I don't have a subscription, but every now and then, if I need help, I do take donations. Okay. Thank you so much for those that do help. I appreciate that. Now, I am trying to access the chat at this time. All right, there's the chat. Was Darth Vader real? All right. This is a question from Void Runner Official 77. Well, the whole Wars theme, as portrayed by George Lucas, was a depiction of the Orion Wars. Again, if you have not read my book, Our Cosmic Origin, for those that are new to my channel, it is a must read. You guys are going to get first dibs on Galactic, general, description of Galactic history and information. And yeah, so Darth Vader is representing the Sith lineage of the reptilians, the Draco lineage, which come from Orion, from a planet called An, A-L-N, that rotates around the Rigel, R-I-G-E-L, star system. That is what established the royal bloodline of Lucifer, the Sith lineage, according to George Lucas. The Sith Lords were the human Draco hybrids, okay? Thank you, Renee Milham, for your donation, for your super chat. Thank you, thank you. She says, what were the 12 locations again? I missed a couple. Well, the 12 locations that you must be referring to, the 12 sacred activation zones, are geographically spread throughout the world. They are Sedona, Arizona, Mount Shasta, the Sinai Peninsula, the Giza, of course, the pyramids of Egypt, Lake Titicaca in Bolivia, I believe, or South America, as well as, I don't know them all by heart, but I could probably get all 12 locations on the next live for you, sister. But yeah, they are the 12. You could say that those are the 12, you could say, major portals. But there are over 300 minor portals as well, from what I was told. Thank you so much, Patricia Noble, for that super chat. It was very generous of you. She says, is there a 5D planet hid behind Earth's name Gloria? Is there a 5D planet that is hidden behind Earth named Gloria? I don't think so. I've never heard of that intel. I could look into it. I could ask Commander Valiant Thor, but as of now, he's already answering my question. No, he says there is no planet called Gloria. No. The Earth's original name was Terra, and that was when the Earth existed in dimensions 4, 5, and 6, which is where we are returning due to the Ascension. And again, as revealed in this live, her 12-dimensional version is Aramatena, and this comes directly from the Emerald records. I do want to thank Deanna V for her Zelle. Thank you so much, as well as Greg Molina for his Zelle. Thank you so much. I did receive it. Thank you guys. You guys are awesome. All right, more questions. So Ishmael, when is the first flash? This is a question from Jacob Scherer. Well, like I stated in this report, part of the 31 Atlas, as reported by the astronomers of the Earth, those are ships, cosmic sentinels that were sent all the way from the 12th dimension, as to why they were able to penetrate the Kuiper belt and the Oort belt, right? They go right through density. I mean, guys, that's why scientists are like, how do they go through the Oort belt without getting hit? Little do they know how advanced the Emerald races are. Again, for those that either buy the stream for $20 and watch my presentation of the 3rd of August, you guys are going to get the full scoop of all of this and first dips regarding the information that has not yet been released in my unpublished book. That's not going to be released for another 6 months to a year. All right. And then for those that make it in person on the 3rd of August here at the Global Center for Christ Consciousness in Sedona, you guys are going to get to ask me questions in person, and you guys get your book signed. Okay. So that is $44 in person, and I do take payment at the door. if you guys want. And you guys are going to get your choice of either one of these books, Our Cosmic Origin or The Secret Government. Of course, it's going to be signed, and you get a picture with me. That's part of your 44 bucks. Okay. All right, let's continue here. So yeah, part of this 31 Atlas coming into our solar system is to trigger the first phase, the first activation. Thank you so much for your super chat, Greg. Can we learn telepathy in the 3D, or do we have to wait till the 5D? Well, when we shift into the new Earth, right, the Terra Earth dimensions 4, 5, or 6, for those that go to the 5 or 6D Earth, your telepathy will automatically return. So you will be communicating telepathically. Good question, though. I think this water is going down the wrong way.
Want more?
Yes, please. Again, some people are saying that they wish they could attend my August 3rd event here in Sedona. However, don't lose out on the stream. I am selling the stream via Zoom through my website for only 20 bucks. So for 20 bucks, guys, you guys are going to get to view my presentation via live stream, okay? For 20 bucks, go to my website, or cosmicorigin.com. Yes, that is correct. Thank you for the reminder, Larry Henson. We are the portal. Absolutely. Senor Ismael, this is from one of my Latin-speaking brothers, Jose Mendez. He wants to know, does Commander Valiant Thor know who the 12 Elohim are? Yes, he does. Because you guys have to understand that these 12 Elohim, major, and then the 100 minor, have been sent from the 12th dimension, 13, 14, and even 15. Well, the 12 come from the 13 to 15. The 100 come from the 12. They were sent to incarnate into human form. So you could say the entire host of heaven are here. They are here in human form. Trenton Williams, thank you so much for your super chat. I am witnessing this trend where people are losing or using their chat GPT to ask advanced questions about spirituality, the matrix, and all kinds of things that are suppressed. It is answering in depth and accurately. Your thoughts? That's a very good question. Well, the thing about ChatGPT is that when you type in spiritual and metaphysical and galactic information, you're actually feeding its algorithm. You're teaching it spiritual, metaphysical, and galactic information. Remember, guys, ChatGPT is an algorithm that is learning and growing through the input you give it. Okay? So that is part of the trap. That is part of making it super intelligent, right? People that feed data into ChatGPT are literally making it more intelligent. So my advice is to probably not use it. Okay. Thank you. I see that Starcadian is posting my website for those that want to purchase my presentation, August 3rd presentation stream online for only 20 bucks through my website, or cosmicorigin.com. Let's see. Can you view the stream anytime you want? I believe you will have access to it. The stream is going to be given to you guys upon going to my website and booking it. You guys are going to get a Zoom link, and that Zoom link will be live on the 3rd of August when I am giving my presentation. Now, as far as viewing it anytime, I think that you could view it as well. Like, say if you're working during that time or that hour, I believe you'll be able to view it once after work. Yes. Yes. Also, as a reminder that ChatGPT is biased. So even if you're asking ChatGPT to give you information on, galactic history or other dimensional metaphysical stuff, it'll give you how it was programmed. Okay. It was programmed by the deep state to give you, again, biased information. So that's another thing to be careful about. So you're not going to get proper information from ChatGPT. I do wanted to thank Sean Crawford for his super chat. Thank you so much, brother. I appreciate that. Yes, don't feed ChatGPT. So yeah, those are two things. You're feeding it. It is an algorithm that is growing. And secondly, it's going to give you biased information, not the truth, but information based on how it was programmed, if you know what I mean. I also wanted to thank Canadian Jedi for his super chat. Thank you for what you do. You're welcome, guys. You're welcome. It is my duty to give you guys all the intel that regarding disclosure, what's happening from behind the scenes, all of these classified documents, dossiers, operations. You're only going to get that on the Real Ishmael Perez YouTube channel. Okay. You guys are going to be ahead of the game when it comes to disclosure. So when they do release this to the general public, you guys are going to say, I already heard it on the Real Ishmael Perez. Thank you. Hope this money will help. Anything helps at this point. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate that. Yeah, I know. Carrie Cassidy is saying that the 31 Atlas is the Anunnaki, or she's assuming that they are androids that are being sent to invade us. No, that's not happening. I'm sorry, Carrie Cassidy, as much as you are my friend, and she is a good friend of mine, I disagree with you that these are Anunnakis or androids that were sent to invade us. That is not true. I also wanted to thank Dustin Havisdak for his Zell, as well as Ricky Cavener for his Zell, and also Deanna V. Thank you, thank you. And Greg Molina. Thank you so much, Greg Molina. I appreciate that. I did get your Zell. Ishmael, thank you. Confirmed a lot of what I know we all are feeling and even radiating. This is from Angela Mann. Oh, you're welcome. Again, I was informed, I was, you could say, told to give you guys the information. So, however you guys want to take this information, take what resonates. If it resonates, take it. If it doesn't, don't. But this information that I shared today, not the Obama, not the Obama thing, but what I shared afterwards is coming directly from the Guardian Alliance, from the Emerald races. Okay. Yes. Again, I strongly suggest. I would say that today I dropped a lot of galactic, a lot of good intel. So I would suggest to watch this from the replay, guys, and take notes as well. Pause if you can, listen to what I was talking about, and try to ingrain it in your thoughts because you guys are getting first dips at all of this. And then, of course, regarding the activation of the Christed races, hey, that's all of the volunteers that are down here. We are representing the Christos Sophia codes, as they are called in the galactic community, down here on the Earth. Lee Star says it's holy intel. All right, I never thought about it that way. Yes, Ish, you said that on Monday something could happen this Thursday. That is what I've heard, and it probably is related to the Obama treasonous, you could say, operations. So that's tomorrow. I guess we're going to find out together. But what I do know is that um, the Y hats are not going to, rest until Obama gets prosecuted. Well, I'm talking about the second Obama, and of course, Hillary and all of those that were part of the three-letter agencies that were all involved. So, they're on it, guys. They're on it. It's always best to just be ready, right? Just be ready with enough water and food because as we are approaching the bifurcation of timelines, the solar flash, anything could happen, guys. So it's always best to be prepared. I missed a super chat. Let's check. Who did I miss the super chat from? I think I answered all of them. Oh, Trenton Williams. I am witnessing this trend where people are using. Okay, I think I've already answered that. Um, no, that's not the super chat. I think I got all the super chats, my friends. I don't see any other super chat. All right. I don't see Deborah Nodelman's super chat. I don't see it. It's probably disappeared from here. Sorry, guys. I don't see it. Let me see if it's here on my laptop. No, it's not on my laptop either. Thank you, LW, for your super chat. Ishmael, thank you for your wealth of information. You are so needed and appreciated at this time. That means a lot to me, guys. That means a lot to me. That keeps me going forward. I love what I do. I love keeping you guys informed on the latest intel, what's happening beyond this realm, beyond this world, in space, what happened in the galaxy, and all of that. It is my pleasure to serve. It is my pleasure to serve. I wanted to thank Stephen Peter also for his Zell. Thank you so much, as well as Dustin. Is it Vizdoc? Dustin Vizdoc. Thank you so much for your Cell. And Ricky Kavner. Again, guys, I'm looking for questions. Make sure you type your questions in capital letters so that I could bypass the chat. King Jeffrey Lambert says I missed his. You missed, let's see, your super chat. Did you send a super chat? I don't see it. Well, I don't see your super chat. Are you still aware of the book 2150 AD, written in the 70s? No, I've never heard of that book. Great job tonight, Ishmael. Yeah, I put a lot of hours into this presentation, guys, putting it together, transmissions from the Emerald Order, getting all the juicy intel, not only classified information, but also what, Tussie Gabbard said regarding what she discovered about a bomber and the Epstein files. Sometimes I do hours of research to give you guys a thorough explanation in just an hour. Okay. It takes me hours sometimes to research this stuff. But again, I love what I do. I just got another super chat from Barbara Patrick. She says, Ishmael, when the solar flash happens, will we ascend? Yes, that is the trigger for the ascension. Absolutely. Blissful Saharsa Saharsrar. Thank you so much for your super chat. What happens to our possessions when we go to the fifth dimension? This is a question from Jeffrey Snowden. Um, this is the thing, guys. In the 5D Earth, we don't need things anymore. All right. We are going to be 50% light body activated, which means everything that we need, the way we communicate, the way we transport is all going to be through our light body. We won't even need spacecraft. Okay. Spacecraft is an extension of our light body. It is an organic sentient vehicle that is an extension of us. In the 5D and above, we don't use technology that is external from us. We use the inner software, which is part of the crystalline technology, the original organic technology. So if you are very attached to material possessions on Earth, it is best that you learn how to detach from that before you go into the 5D or above. And I do want to thank the Pillars of Light for their super chat. They say, love, light, and blessings, Brother Ishmael. Thank you. Likewise, likewise. Thank you, Infinite Healing Lights, for your super chat. Thank you, thank you. If I don't answer question after question, is because I can't help myself from reading the chat. I know I've never heard of Comet Ison. I'll have to look into that. Nathan Taylor has a super chat. Where's Nathan Taylor? I don't see Nathan Taylor. When people die, where will they go? This is a question from Lord Ranga. Well, if they're good people, I believe they go to the next dimension, the higher dimension. And I strongly believe that those that have died within the last 20 to 30 years are already waiting for us in the new earth. Yeah, the chat is going super fast, guys. I'm going to have to slow it down. I'm going to take one more question. It's been an hour and 47 minutes since I've been broadcasting. So I'll take one more question. Ish, is the government tracking Rh negative blood types? Yeah, they have been for a long, long time. Alrighty. Let's see. One final super chat from David Essington. Please, can you say a prayer for the healing of Lady Hope, who, like all 144,000, are incarnated now? She is suffering with cancer. Lady Hope, if you're out there, we pray for you. We know that you're in your human body, and we pray for a miraculous healing to take place as you are needed as part of the ground crew in this time and day. May you heal in the name of the collective Christ, which is all of us. So be it. So be it. All right, one last super chat that just came in from Nathan Taylor. Is the hyperbolic time chamber from Dragon Ball Z real? Well, the Dragon Ball Z series, which was written by insiders, had a lot of metaphysical and secret knowledge that they wanted to disclose in the series Dragon Ball Z, which is a Japanese anime, for those who don't know what I'm talking about. And yeah, that series discloses a lot of metaphysics and cosmology. So I would say that the hyperbolic time chamber was based from, you could say, was a mimicking of a real technology that does exist. Okay, that's the best way to say it. All right, guys, with that in mind, I do have one last super chat. Thank you, Teresa J. Gregory, and her hype or hope. Thank you so much for that super chat. And I also wanted to thank Nancy Garrett. Thank you so much for your Zelle. Again, guys, my Zelle is connected to my email, project restoration Zion, Z-I-O-N, Z as in zebra, at gmail.com. Project Restoration Zion. I appreciate all the support and help at this time. And I will see you guys on Saturday night for another juicy update. All right, guys, may the God Force be with you all. And always stay grounded. And we'll see what tomorrow holds. Hopefully, is some sort of disclosure. But I do believe that Obama is going to be the first public arrest. All right. May the God Force be with you all. And I will see you guys in 2 nights. Saturday night. In 3 nights. I'm sorry, in 3 nights. All right. Talk to you guys then. Bye.